Welcome back to Elementary 72 Gaming. I'm back again with another Eve Echoes final build video, and this time I'm touching on the Atron Interceptor. Now yes, this is the end of the Interceptors. After this I will go on to another class of vessels. As you can see, I'm going in order of everything that's in the menu. Hopefully I can finish it all off and give you a nice roundup to the series with a good amount of additional content for the other ship classes. Obviously, there's one or two classes who I'm just going to totally skip over because they have no PvE usage without additional forces. They are absolutely useless at combat in that situation, and I will be leaving them out completely. Okay, when it comes to the Atron Interceptor, the Atron Interceptor 1, Atron Interceptor 2, the T10 variant, they're going to have the exact same repercussions as any other interceptor. 15% to their disruptor or scrambler range, and 30% on the higher version model. 75% reduction to radius penalty, that is the total that they have. So when the warp drive activates, their radius is reduced by 75%. So it makes it quite easy for the ship to get away from any place. It makes it longer to lock onto it. So when you're jumping from gate to gate, the ship is basically impossible to lock onto. Because it's such a small figure to lock onto, it makes it impossible for you to actually get locked. That is why people use interceptors for autopilot from nullsec into highsec. It's almost impossible to stop it. Advanced frigate command, as you can see, accuracy fall off is given a big amount of bonus at 37.5%. Now railguns always have that massive problem with accuracy fall off. I can vouch to it, I've done it myself. Giving it a 37.5% advantage in that section isn't much to it, to be honest, so it does give it that little bit of extra range on where it can fire. The next is the small railgun damage is plus 50%. Right, let's look at the other overall stats. Overall defense 2400, it's fair, it's not really going to put up that much of a bigger fight than any of the other vessels. 490 meters per second, it's the second fastest the second slowest from the interceptors, so it's in the same class as the Condor. Warp speed of 5.5 AU, 55 megawatt power grid. Now there is something which might be problematic because it's using railguns, but we'll get to it when we get to it, and you'll see which railguns I would prefer for this particular vessel. And as you can see, a 583 gigajoule capacitor. Now, even though this is also another armor tanking vessel, I am going to go with a shield tank on it. Now, the reason for it is quite simple. They're small vessels, they don't have that much of effective firepower to obliterate fleets, and you want to extend the defense on them for as long as possible. So shield over anything else. Right, let's look at the Atron 2 to see its slight advantages over the other. Right, there's a 30% as I said, and there we go, 87.5% for damage. Accuracy fall off is also 37.5. 3045 overall defense, that's standard. 515 meters per second flight velocity, that's quite impressive, but it's still not going to make that much of a difference. 59 megawatt power grid output, it's just going to hit into the 90s. It's not going to go quite high, maybe 90, 91. I'm not sure if it can reach 92 or 93. The power requirements are close, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, the capacitor on this one here is 624 gigajoules. It's the standard 3x3x3x3. So let's get on to this build. Now I am going through this quite hastily. That's because I've done 3 other interceptors. You can go back and have a look at it. I'm not even going to worry about the rifled railguns, right? Rifles give you a little bit more range. As you can see, it's a 9x5 on the accuracy fall off. I don't want that. The ship isn't the fastest thing out there, so it can be caught up to, and things can end up inside the 5 kilometer radius. That means that I'm going to have a reduction in efficiency. 9K is my optimal range, and I have a 4K radius where they are absolutely invulnerable to me. So so I don't want anything getting that close, and that is going to be a problem. Plus I am quite fast, but I'm not fast enough to be uncatchable. Okay, let's move down. I don't want medium, I want snub nose. Now these are the rock stars when it comes to damage application, but there is a massive problem. Because of accuracy fall off, they do have a problem with keeping locks on targets. As you can see, a 2.4 kilometer accuracy fall off, greater than optimal range of 1.8 kilometers. So you are really going to count heavily on research to make the ship effective in combat, and it will make a difference to how effective you are in beating enemies. Now as you can see, it's an 11 megawatt. That means 33 megawatts are gone to this. Now we do know that my overall effective ploy means that 20 megawatts are needed for your mid slot basically, and we know exactly where things are going to go for the low slot as well. So let's just get to it. The low slot is quite expensive compared to everything else. So 33 megawatts, and let's head to it. The first thing I'm going to touch on is the afterburner. Right, I'm not going to go with anything else that's too heavy. So here we go, 17 megawatts in. That takes us up to 50, right? So off your standard, there's 9 megawatts left. Just 9, not much more. So yeah, there you go. And everything now is to do with the bonus. Remember, you don't want to close it too close to that bonus figure. So let's be careful with what we do. A damage control unit all around, it's going to be exactly what we want. A shield hardener will definitely help us. It will extend the shield's durability, but it doesn't have such a massive shield. Actually, in the case of this vessel, either one would do. It's not going to make a difference in terms of capacitor. Sorry, not in terms of power grid. It will make a difference in terms of capacitor. The damage control unit is only activated once every 2.5 minutes, while the hardeners are activated every few seconds. So let's go have a look at the adaptive. The cost is 35 gigajoules. 10 seconds, that means this is 15, it will be 15 times more. So when you do that, instantly you see that the damage control unit is more effective. However, it's just very, very good for the shield resistance state up. Its bonus effect is crazy ridiculous for the few seconds that it's active. I think it's 6 seconds, but 6 seconds of no damage is enough for you to recover one full regen, have halfway through to your second regen, and then your second regen will kick in afterwards, giving you about 1/3 of your shield back. This one does have a lot more shield than the Executioner. There is something to note about this particular vessel. Alright, so above this is the shield booster. Shield booster is 6 megawatts in the X-Type. I'm going to go with X-Type because X-Type is going to be available when this video is out. 127 per boost. With your research added in, that is going to go up quite a bit. Your activation cost is going to come down by quite a bit, and your activation time is also going to come down a lot. Altogether, this is a very effective unit in pulling up that defense. Remember, every second counts when you are this small. You don't have a couple thousand to go through just for the sake of getting into place. You need to make sure that every second counts in that fight. That is why we are particularly using this format. Now this is because it's PvE that I'm focusing on and not PvP. PvP would have its own variation because you can speed up so much that other ships can't touch you, and that is the reality behind it. I've seen it myself. When you go so crazy fast, the effective ways in which the weapons work don't work anymore. They just lose their laws and principles of function. Stasis Webifier, right, 1 megawatt. Next thing we're going to go to is Disruptor. Sorry, not Disruptor, Scrambler. And there's 7 megawatts on it, right? So that's 8 megawatts here. Sorry about that. You also get to take down anybody who tries to micro warp drive away from you. And your Nosferatu in the small fortress, 9, you save, right? I'm just going to say it for you. You absolutely save. You just scraping that level of safety. You most probably about 1 away from maximizing your power grid, because it's 17. Okay, wait, you are at 50. You added 6 plus 1, that's 7. That pulled you up to 57. You added 1, that's 58. And then you added 9 plus 15. You're very safe. My mistake. I was actually adding something extra to it by accident. So where are we going to go with the rigs? Now this ship is kind of exactly like the Executioner. Accuracy fall off. You want to increase damage twice instead of activation time. Remember, you're going to go snub nose for the best results. If you go with the other one, you're not going to get the best effect. You might have a slightly longer range to fight on, but it makes no difference when you are this fast and in this class of vessels. In terms of engineering, double auxiliary thrusters. You're so fast it doesn't make a difference. And last but not least, you're going to increase that capacitor. You're either going to increase your recharge time or your capacitor size. Either one doesn't make a difference. So yeah, that's it for the Atron interceptors. I hope that you all did enjoy, and catch you all in the next one. Sorry.